right, everybody, welcome back to the RawGraspPodcast. Today I have Salvatore Spinelli, and we are at your gym, Carlson Gracie, Temecula, Wine Country. I haven't known you, Sal, for 8 to 10 years plus, probably.
At least, yeah.
I don't know, but yeah, he's awesome. So you are, you sing, you're a songwriter, you're in a band. You are with awesome people, which we will hop into. But obvious, we are with the team here. And you own this spot now, or?
This is mine and one of my really good friends, Ace's. Yeah, this is what we do.
That's awesome. Yeah. So you are a black belt under Tom, right? Or is it? Okay. Yeah, he's awesome. I hope to have him on here as well, but he's got stuff to do. He's always he's busy.
He's a life ninja.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. But he's on point on who he is and how he actually does certain things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, he's on point. So let's hop into how you actually were exposed to this, and as well, you do hand stuff, and you hit with. So what's that called?
The other art that I do with the hands is it's a blend of Wing Chun and Chinese boxing, different Chinese boxing styles, and then some Kodi Lee, eskrima with the sticks.
That's sick. Just shit. Yeah. But yeah, so how did you get exposed to learn how to, I guess, hurt people? No, I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding. Well, he's like, well, let's not hurt people at first.
Well, I've always wanted to do a martial art. You know, my dad was he was a brown belt in Japanese Jiu-Jitsu, and
nice.
I was growing up, and I always asked him about it, and we really didn't connect on it. But he'd always show me little things. I was still young, but eventually, like most kids in the '80s, and Bruce Lee movies,
of course,
right? So Bruce Lee movies, Jackie Chan movies, and getting beat up all the time as a kid,
You?
Oh yeah, dude, for sure. Bullied in class, bullied on the playground, all this stuff. So taking, the fantasy of Bruce Lee movies, I can do that, right?
You're like that person, that person, that person, that person, that person.
Right, you're making like a list right now. Taking that element of like, wow, that's really cool. Look what you could do, because I was growing up in I was just always like a shy, timid kid, so I was always a target, I guess. Okay. So I'm not saying it was a bad childhood, but my experience was of the not most confident in the class. Let's just say that. Right?
Okay.
So. So I'd always had like this romantic idea of eventually doing a martial art, right? Okay. And then I happened to be playing music in a band, and one of these guys that was managing us happened to be a martial artist, and I was like 15 or 16. He's like, hey, if you want to learn Wing Chun, I'm with a group that does Wing. I was like, oh my gosh, let's do that. So that's how I got started.
Oh, you learned that first?
That's what I learned first.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So, how do you see you now to help out whoever out there? They're like, oh, in school, they're not, or they're smaller than big, because I would assume if you're smaller, they're like, oh yeah, he's easy.
Oh right? Yeah. Well, even if you're small, I think standing tall.
Okay.
If you're standing tall, if you're a tall 5 foot.
Yeah, just a tall 5 foot. What's up? Yeah. Okay.
Then people they just respect who you are. You're not an easy target. You're not somebody that's slouching. They're not going to pick on you as much. I'm not saying everybody's immune to it, but the more advantages you end up having as a kid, and I think it just comes with. I mean, the thing with martial art is obviously we learn how to fight and defend ourselves, physically. But I think whatever you're into as a kid, and I think it's the parents' job, right? It's the parents or whoever's their guardian. It's their responsibility. Put the kid in a sport. Put the kid in a social situation, somewhere that they're going to excel, right? And when you excel, you get confident. When you get confident, it's just people just enjoy being around you. They respect you. You know, it's. So I think anything, whether it's a martial art, if it's just find something that the kid's good at, right? And if you find something he's good at, he feels good about himself. And that's, I think, the first step of not, getting picked on.
Yeah, that's huge as well. You know, if you're not that old or whatever, and like you're still in school, cool. But also out here, right? Yeah. Like either, I would say for like a job, right? You're like, hey, I can do this, right? Hire me. Compared to like, oh, I don't want to go do that. I don't know if I can do that. You know, it's like, who would I kind of say like, I want this guy.
Yeah, of course. And it's not a cockiness thing, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people might equate it to, I don't want to be full of myself. I don't want to be. I don't want to come off as a cocky person, but it's really. You're approachable. You're making yourself likable. You're making yourself just inspiring the person next to you, right? Like if we were on a job interview, like if you're interviewing me, right? I'm coming to your business. Yeah. You have to look at it like this. I may be coming to you for a job, but if you're interviewing me, I'm also interviewing you to see if I want to work for you.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, in some cases, because you have some people like, I have to have this job, I'm broke, I need some kind of money. But yes, I kind of see where you're going.
But you come in and you're like, hey man, look, this is who I am, this is what I can offer you, this is what I'd like to see myself doing for you, how can I help you in this business, whatever the business is, right?
Yeah.
From mowing lawns, right? How could I be a better assistant to you? What do I need to do? I'm willing to do it. Rather than just, I can do what you want me to do. Yeah. Just be proactive, be positive about it.
Yeah, that's huge. And I would say for me, I've, like for me, when I was, here, like I got smashed a lot. But, at the same time, I knew for a fact, I'm like, hey, look, I have to know how to fight so I don't have to fight.
Right.
Because you have people like, oh, he's got a speech problem, whatever. I'm going to, I'm like, okay, cool. Awesome. Like now it's not like, oh, just like it's super short fuse. Like, yeah, cool, awesome. High five. But now, it's like, okay, cool. I don't know who you are. I'm sure at home you're having some problem. You were late for a job or something like. So yeah, I've learned how to be humble up to a point, but first you have to get humbled. And here is a place you get humbled real quick. Yeah. But like with that. Like it's awesome to actually meet whoever here, and I'm like, wow, like I just met I'm not sure his name, I'm super sorry for watching this, but he's a beast. I'm like, well, you're only 16 and he's
Austin.
Yeah, he's Austin, beast, and he's just so cool. And I was just kind of sitting there, hey, how was this helped you out in life? He's like, I know what I can do now. Yeah. Of course, he actually won't go out and do stuff for fun, like hurt people. Right. But how he was saying, hey, if my mom and dad, whoever was, hurt and I had to step in, I know for a fact I could. Right. And I was like, wow. Yeah. And like to hear that from him, he was only 16. I'm like, wow. Like I just think there's a lot more people out there that should get involved into a sport, either it's boxing or
I
jiu-jitsu or whatever.
Yeah. Sports are a huge thing. It's just something that helps you build confidence,
Okay.
right? Jiu-Jitsu, man, Jiu-Jitsu, like you said, it humbles you, right? I think one of the things about Jiu-Jitsu that I really feel is beneficial is it's a big struggle at first, right?
Yes.
And it's a struggle for many people for many different reasons. For example, for the weak person, right?
Okay.
Small, weak, not athletic.
Okay.
It's a struggle for them because they are small,
Yeah.
weak, not athletic. They can't move. They might be uncoordinated. They have this monster of a person sitting on top of them.
Okay.
And they panic, right? It's a struggle. I can't get good at this. Why can't I get good at this? Why is this so difficult for me to deal with another human?
Okay.
Okay. Now you take somebody that is an athlete. They're strong. They're quick.
The beast.
They're fast,
Yeah.
right? They're flexible. They're fast. You put them with somebody that's halfway decent, and none of those attributes really come into play anymore. So it's frustrating for them. They're like, I'm strong, I'm fast, I'm that, right? So everybody has these struggles they're going to be put into, and it really helps you just dial in how to feel in the moment, understand it's okay to panic at first, calm yourself,
Okay.
and just learn to survive under pressure. And if you can survive under pressure and then overcome that, right? Whether it's a sweep, right? We could talk metaphorical, right?
Okay.
Like you're put under pressure, boom, sweep, now you're on top.
Yeah.
It's a metaphor for life. Anything you want to say, right? You're dealing with these relationship problems, or something at work is really smothering you, or whatever it is, right? A situation. Well, finances, right? You're under duress financially. It just takes any of these situations takes one subtle minute of clarity and timing to flip it all on its head. And now you have the advantage, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes we struggle for years, right? We struggle with the foot on our throat, with the lapel being choked. We're struggling.
Foot on your throat.
You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
We're struggling, and we don't see the way to flip it, right? Because all we focus on is the struggle, how hard it is. This is so difficult. Why am I a victim here? Why can't I make another dollar? Or why can't I do this? Why can't I do that? Why can't I get this position? Oh, it just takes one little second of focus and patience and then confidence to flip it all on its head.
So with that, it takes time though, and you have to kind of be open to how it works, I guess.
Absolutely. Like otherwise, it's just like a lucky win, right?
Yeah.
So, and those lucky wins happen, but for the most part, it takes patience. It takes failing as many times as you're gonna fail to figure out the right way sometime, right? Like I've always wanted to own a gym, right? I've always wanted to get ahead, and in life, I was doing the same mistakes, making the same mistakes, and it just took one moment. Well, I'm not going to say one, but a few moments of clarity in a row, and some people to show me different ways of using perspective. And all of a sudden, things started changing, right? And it puts me in a position to say, I've experienced this this life sweeping, right? I've experienced this. Now I can like use this as a metaphor, and and I feel so confident in doing that because it's just proof. It's proof, you know. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Am I just mumbling? Or is
No. So like, at what point? At what point were you actually open to be like, oh, I want to go see him or her about this, You were like like a wall, just hitting a wall, just sitting there? Or?
I was hitting a wall without knowing why I was hitting a wall, right? I felt like a Roomba. Right?
Okay.
Just like boing, boing, boing. It's like, I don't know why I'm hitting the wall. I'm just programmed to hit this wall.
Yeah.
And it really just, whether it was fate, prayer, you know, the universe working, whatever you want to subscribe to, the right people were put in the right place in my life at the right time.
Okay.
And I was, my eyes were open to that at that point.
Okay.
I was like, this is what I need to do. And it became easy. It wasn't difficult to make a conscious decision to move in one direction, right? And that's what it's like in jiu-jitsu, right?
Yeah.
It's when you're struggling, and you finally see this position that you've been in this entire time, every time, right? Every time there's a knee on belly, right?
Yeah.
If you know what knee on belly, right? Well, I know you do, but I don't know if you guys do.
Yeah.
If you know what knee on belly is, I'm stuck here, I'm stuck here, I'm stuck here. It's the same position. It's presenting itself the same way.
Yeah.
People are telling you, this is how you get out. This is how you get out. This is how you get out. But I can't figure it out. One day, you're just, the light bulb goes off.
Yeah.
You feel that momentum about to happen, and you're like, oh, boop.
Yeah.
So that's what I think jiu-jitsu is really, really good for, is just, it's obviously a physical activity. It's obviously fighting. It's defending yourself. It's
rolling. It's not fighting. It's rolling.
It's rolling.
I'm
well,
kidding.
I mean,
I got you.
You know what I'm saying.
I got you.
There's struggle, right? And there are obviously times where we put on the gloves and, you know, kick and punch and hair pull and do it, mimic as much of a
like actual fight.
Yeah, an actual panic-inducing situation as possible. I mean, it's very, very difficult to obviously create a self-defense situation to the, you know, but mimicking it as much as we can, you obviously learn something violent.
Okay.
There's no clean, easy way to do it, but anytime you're on the mat, anytime you're doing, I'll say jiu-jitsu, it's going to help you relax under duress, under pressure, and focus on what you really need to focus on. That's why I like it.
Yeah.
The focus. My son is 5, right?
He's awesome.
Thank you.
That's so cool. Yeah.
My son's 5, and he comes, and you know, I know he likes just being around me, and he may not like jiu-jitsu, like,
But not yet.
you know, not yet.
Yeah.
And if he never does, that's fine too.
Yeah.
But the first couple months, he was just playing, you know, just playing around, having a good time.
Okay.
And one day, I was waiting for it.
Here it comes.
I was waiting for it where he got so frustrated that he like had a meltdown on the mat, cried, you know. And I know it sounds terrible, but inside I was like, finally, yes, now you get it. You know, you're 5 and you're experiencing struggle and frustration, and you have this thing to deal with now. Mm-hmm. It broke him.
Okay.
And you bet, right? As soon as that happened, now he gets out. Now he gets out because he knows what it's like to feel that. He doesn't want to feel that pressure, so he gets out.
Wow.
So, and if he doesn't get out, he's okay with it now. He understands what it is to relax and survive. But he had that breaking point to put things in a perspective of focus for him.
Yeah.
I think it's necessary, and a lot of kids don't get that.
Or us,
Or
even
adults.
They're like, oh, I'm good with my life, and and then when something happens, they're like, oh,
It's true.
spaz out.
It's true, man. It's great for kids, great for adults. So yeah.
That's so cool. I would hop into it more because there's so much about certain things. Oh, and like how if you're just kind of stuck, like you can't move, you have to wait. You just have to wait and until, or you can move, and it's a whole thing. So
You can't force it.
yeah, hopefully, yeah.
This guy, by the way, we used to dub you.
Oh gosh.
So
Okay,
we
go.
used to dub him the scientist, right? And the scientist.
Oh, the
because
whiteboards.
He was.
See, you have him up there now. That's awesome.
So
yeah, I love it.
You're one of the only people that I know, over my whole journey in jiu-jitsu and martial arts in general, you take the time to be cerebral about it, right? You're like, this is what I know, this is what I remember, these are the flow charts, this is the pathology I see of this motion, this movement, and you would, like, almost like a mad scientist, right? Like, make these boards and just have them up and notes, and that is, that's awesome, and I think more people need to do that, right? Instead of just come to class, do some stuff physically, and then take off and hope they remember it. You know, when you write it down, it's, you know. So that's why we called you the scientist.
Oh, it's cute.
It's good.
So, like, for me, I had to have it on there because I don't know about you, but when you're on bottom with you or Tom or whoever, just being smashed all the time, just getting choked out, I'm like, this sucks. So with that, I'm like, how can I improve fast? Of course, you have to be up on the mat, but yeah, if you aren't aware of what's going on and just hitting it hard, okay, cool, yeah, you will get good, but how fast? So with that, you know, I would not do like each move up on the board. There's so many things: half guard, deep path. You have, you know, the X guard, you know, all this kind of stuff. So I would have to do it slow because it's when it's live. You're but not just like, okay, hold on, half guard, sweep. He has the underhook. He has the cross. You know, it's go. So with that, I had to, because I hate being smashed. And you know, there's a lot of people like, oh, he's like a taller, bigger guy, he's supposed to smash every time. It's kind of not. Have you actually, like what's that? What, you're like 180-ish pounds?
I'll take it.
If that.
I'll take it. Well, about 190.
Good.
About 190.
Good.
Yeah.
He's like shredded out. No, but yeah, he knows certain things. I'm sure, you know, he's been on the mat so much more than I have. That's why he's a black belt, which is awesome. Well, I'm pretty sure there's a lot more things, but to actually to know what's gonna happen before even I know what's gonna happen. It's like, oh, half guard. Oh, I'm gonna switch my hip real quick, and I'm heavy.
Well, you end up reading, right, the situation.
Okay.
So there's the ability to be ahead of whatever's happening and behind whatever's happening, right? Like, ahead meaning, you know, by looking at the way you're standing, or the way your body is on top of mine, or you know, you can feel what's going to happen. You know, you can feel the options that are presented.
Options.
So if you see what options are, or don't even see, feel, right? If you feel the options about to happen, you already have your responses pre-programmed. I'm not going to say you're going to think about it. It's just your body's going to.
It's just going to go.
Right? It's almost like baseball, right? Baseball, you have the pitcher, and however many feet away is the catcher and the batter, right?
Okay.
And that ball's coming.
100-ish.
90 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Changing directions on the way in.
In the air.
In the air. From the time it leaves the person's glove or the person's hand that's pitching and presents itself to the batter, that batter has no time to think about it, right? It's like less than a half of a second. And it gets to the point where their body just reacts, right? It just reacts and it swings, and you just hope you hit it. It's almost like boxing, right? Like you look at a guy like Floyd Mayweather or Muhammad Ali, they understand the flow of how punches are going to come based on what the person's body is doing. So it's almost like the Matrix, right? Like everything's in slow motion, right? You're able to read what's happening based on what is presenting. Yeah. You know? I don't know. It's a whole thing we can do.
I know, easy.
I love it. I love it. I so much to talk about. It's so exciting. So.
All right. So how about we hop into music now?
Let's do it.
You are, you sing, you're a songwriter, You're in a band, and you are the head coach for
Kodi.
Yeah,
Kodi,
Lee.
yeah.
Yeah.
Kodi, yeah.
So for Kodi, I hope you guys know who he is. He's just done awesome things, and I haven't actually met him yet, but it'd be super cool. But to have you here and to kind of share what you kind of, I guess, know, about certain things to help out people who sing or whatever, because I have heard, and I got a friend who, he's not, he can't speak on point all the time, but he sings perfect. I'm like, how does that happen? But with that, he's not like, oh, I can't speak, so I can't do this.
Right.
How did you hop into that?
My uncle played guitar.
Nice.
My grandfather sang. My mom owned a dance studio for a little while, so I was always around music.
So you've been around it, yeah.
And then I remember I was 6th grade, maybe 6th grade, learning about all different stuff, and then some friends, had like Motley Crue and Metallica albums, and I'm like, oh, this is cool.
Yeah.
What's this? So I remember I bought a Metallica album, Kill 'Em All.
The older one. Oh, older one. Okay.
Bought Kill 'Em All, and I had a guitar. I got my guitar at 12, and I just remember I bought a book, the Kill 'Em All book. And then I tried learning it on the guitar, terribly. So I went and bought another one. I bought Injustice for All. That became my favorite one. Yeah. And then I just tried learning it, and I said to myself, I'm like, yeah, I want to do this. I want to be in a band. And it ended up happening.
Yeah.
So I focused on it. It happened. It wasn't the easiest road to take, music, but it worked out okay as far as work. I'm working with Kodi now. I'm writing songs with great people, and that has been. I'm really fortunate to have been able to do it. Let's just say that. Right.
How did you actually maybe meet him?
Kodi?
Yeah.
I was working at a music studio, Riffs Music in Marietta, and my friend Rex at the time had said, "Hey, are you interested? I have somebody coming in. They want to check out the school, and it's a unique situation. The kid, he was like 17, 16 at the time. He's autistic.
Okay.
Doesn't speak really.
Okay.
He's blind."
He's blind and autistic, he's on stage still in front of millions.
Exactly.